Hello and welcome to Captains of Industry. I'm Chris Bishop. Now I'm in Dubai and with a lady by the name of Feryal Ahmadi, the CEO of DMCC. Now that's one of the fastest growing free trade areas in the world, and it's helping to drive business here in Dubai. And thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, Chris.
Just give us an idea of how crucial this free trade area is in this whole region here.
So DMCC was set up in 2002. And it's majorly tasked with promoting, attracting, and enabling trade in Dubai. Today, we are the largest free trade zone in the region with 17,000 member companies and growing. And we have a host of services that we offer member companies who come and register with us from all over the world.
And just before we get into talking a little bit about you, so I'm say an exporter or an importer. What would it, I'm living outside of this region and I want to use your zone. What will it mean to me?
So it means that you will have 100% ownership of your business with 50 years of free taxation. As well as access to state-of-the-art infrastructure, product, services within any activity that you want to conduct your business, as well as a host of other value-added services that we provide.
Just talk a little bit about yourself now. You're born and bred here in Dubai. You're second generation, I understand.
Yes.
And just give me an idea of who your family are here and just a bit about your family background.
So I come from, my father is a trader. He was actually one of the first people who set up a logistics and warehouse facility in Dubai a long time ago, about 50 years ago. And I come from that family, born and brought up here. I studied in the American University here and started work with Dubai World, which is another governmental holding company, and moved to DMCC in 2008.
Just give us an idea of that upbringing. I mean, you must have seen monumental changes in your home here during that time. Just give us an idea of how it was then to how it is now and how it evolved.
Yeah, I mean, the change has been so phenomenal and fast-paced that sometimes, I have a 16-year-old daughter, by the way, when I tell her how it used to be, she's like, that's impossible, how could Dubai be like? But I think the vision of Dubai and of His Highness always has been extremely ambitious. And in the first 10 years of that journey, we were even all very skeptical. I mean, we were saying, is this even real? Can we ever achieve this? But we did. Dubai achieved it, and we achieved one target and one ambition after the other. And today, when His Highness announces that by 2025 Dubai needs to reach a 2 trillion dirhams of non-oil trade in the next 5 years, we all go like, yep, we can do that.
What do you think it is amongst the people here? Because you have people here from all over the world. What do you think it is that makes people cooperate and work? Because a lot of people in other countries might be a bit more cynical these days when a leader says that.
So there's a host of things, I think, that have come together to cement Dubai's position as a trade hub. One of them is the regulatory environment that's there, that embraces international organizations that wants to set up a base here in the region. Two, it's the infrastructure as well as geography. If you look at the UAE is accessible within 8 hours to almost 65% of the world's GDP. That's 2/3 of the world population. And it is a true hub if you want to access new and global markets, whether you are in Asia, Africa, or even Europe.
Now, just getting back to yourself as well, just for a minute. Now, you went to study in the United States. Where did you study, and what did it teach you? How were you when you first went there straight from here?
So I reached a point in my career where I kind of didn't know where this is going and how much more value I can add. So I decided to take a sabbatical leave and just get away from Dubai and UAE, because it's so fast paced here. You kind of, don't know where you stand. And I applied for Harvard Business School. I got accepted. I did an executive MBA there, and it was an amazing journey, meeting a lot of people from different sectors, different mentalities, different approaches. It was a true eye-opener, I think. I came back with a very fresh mindset and a different perspective on what else I can do and add value to the organization moving forward.
What was it like? I mean, when you came there from Dubai, did people studying business there in Harvard, did they ask you questions? Was Dubai significantly on the world economic map then to create interest?
I mean, Dubai definitely is on the map, and when they see anyone coming from Dubai or representing Dubai, they have a lot of interest in terms of how did Dubai actually get to where it is so fast? What is the secret? What do you guys do? And I think we have come a long way from nobody even knowing the location of the UAE or Dubai to now actually Dubai cementing itself as a trade hub within the region, within, I think, the Middle East in particular as well.
And you came back from that experience in the States and you came back to work here. What difference do you think it made to you as an active business person when you came back and applied what you learned over there in Harvard?
Yeah, so when I came back, I realized that we need to focus much more on a longer term strategy moving forward, that we need to introduce sustainability at the core of what we do. And less than a year from when I came back, we signed with the United Nations Global Compact, committing to the corporate sustainable development goals. Now, that was very foreign to us. Everyone around me was like, oh, what does that mean? What do we do? And it took some time to actually change the mindset within the organization to ensure that we adopt sustainable business practices. We actually ensure that we bring our member companies along that journey, and whatever they can impact, whether it be communities, whether it being the environment, that they have to actually look into that on the longer term. And today we have about 15 of our member companies part of the UNGC, and we continue to advocate for that to be one of the largest free zones here with the largest member of UNGC member companies.
Let's just talk about your job as well as COO. When did you ascend exactly? Do you remember the day when you took up the job, and what did you feel on that first day when you walked in?
So I've been with DMCC for about 12 years now, so it was more like a change of office, but but obviously a much bigger responsibility. I realized that ensuring that the organization, that whatever decisions is made by the organization moving forward is aligned to our strategy and mission is very crucial in terms of partnerships, in terms of initiatives, in terms of ensuring that we are in the right path of growth and continuously looking for new opportunities, making sure that innovation is now at the core of what we do, because an organization like DMCC, where you are at the top, and we've been awarded the Global Free Zone of the Year by the Financial Times for 5 years in a row, you always run the risk of being complacent and of people saying, oh, you know, I can just do what I'm doing and I'm the best. So constantly injecting that mindset that it's not enough. We need to do things better. We need to innovate. We need to look at new markets, new industries to tap into. And I think the organization adopts that mindset now.
Was there anything when you took the job that you thought, this is what I want to do, this is a nice stamp I want to put in? What was it, and how did you attack it? How did you get on with it?
So as part of the sustainability initiative that I'm extremely passionate about, my focus has always been on women empowerment and increasing the role of women within the organization and giving them a voice. And today within the DMCC leadership team, we have over 50% of women. We run a lot of initiatives to support women to grow, not just from a business perspective and in their professional lives, but also in personal lives. One of the first, we registered a member with DMCC. They are called Evolving Women, and they got the first CSR license from us. And what they do, in a nutshell, they actually support women in Africa from underprivileged communities. They bring them to Dubai. They host them in various roles with organizations. They train them for 2 to 3 years, and then they go back to their communities in Africa, and they are able to find a job to support their families. And DMCC is today supporting and adopting such initiatives.
And is this all part of the holistic sort of part of the job, and when you have to deal with everything? A lot of people might just look at you as, oh, well, you just deal with operations, but is that how you want your legacy to be?
I mean, absolutely. It's far, far beyond operations, for sure. I would like to always see DMCC at a different league, and I would like us as an organization and as a person to be able to make a difference, basically.
So we spoke a lot in the first half exactly how your job operates and what you do, but what difference does the free trade zone here in Dubai going to make to Africa?
Well, this is a great opportunity because of the location of Dubai, its geographic location, infrastructure, and accessibility, for commodity markets within Africa to utilize that in order to access other global markets via Dubai or DMCC.
So you've got a lot of sections here. Mostly you've got a tea centre.
Yes.
And also a coffee centre. I mean, coffee, is it not one of the biggest traded commodities in the world,
yes,
aside from oil? How does that work, and how does that stimulate trade?
Mm-hmm. So DMCC set up the DMCC Tea Center with the objective of setting a tea trading hub in Dubai. And what that means is that it connects the consuming and producing markets together via Dubai. So today, 60% of the world's tea is re-exported through the UAE and Dubai in particular. And we had to last year actually expand our tea trading center by 25% because we couldn't cope up with the capacity of tea that is coming from different parts of the world to actually be processed, blended, etc., in Dubai and then re-exported to other areas of the world.
Who are the big customers for tea that comes through here? Which countries?
So we have Sri Lanka, Vietnam, China, and various others as well. The Tea Center has been running for the past 15 years. And basis the success of the Tea Center, we developed the DMCC Coffee Center as well since last year, almost been a year now in February 2019. And we see immense opportunities for coffee as well, especially from Africa, certain Africa.
And you're doing, there's coffee being brought from the growing nations like Uganda, Rwanda to here?
We are working on that. We have received certain smaller shipments, but we are definitely looking to more strategic and longer term partnerships.
And give us an idea of the size and scale of the coffee operation, because it's a bit newer, you say, than the tea operation. Just give us an idea of how much we're talking volume.
So in terms of volume, we are looking at reaching about 20 million kilos of coffee per year. We have, I mean, it's a fairly new facility. We have not reached that yet, but within the next year we will.
What are the pros and cons of your job and you know, running a free trade area? I know that often it is not easy. Well, what's the pros and cons?
So I think one of the most challenging items is not to lose focus on the bigger picture. And Dubai, being Dubai, you always want to be ahead of the curve. There is various strategies across the Emirate in terms of being ahead in smart city, being ahead in innovation, looking at non-oil trade increase by 9% year on year. And you have to make sure always as an organization that your mission and strategy is always aligned to what the country is trying to achieve in the longer term.
What do you have to watch out for? I mean, what are the pitfalls of the job?
I mean, I don't want to talk about the daily challenges, but with the dynamics of what's going in the region and around the world, of course there is impact, but we constantly look for opportunities to turn that around, and that does become challenging at times.
And what is it like being this beacon of free trade in a world of trade wars and dispute? Must be very difficult sometimes.
Of course it is, and nobody can deny that there is obviously an impact when you put restrictions and tariffs on trade. No one benefits from that. However, I think the UAE and Dubai's position in particular and strategy has never changed. It will always be a free trade zone and an advocate of free trade, and that actually cements its position moving forward. That we always welcome all nations and all commodities and all industries to trade via Dubai.
No, I'm sure you do, but it must be difficult sometimes. I mean, in the last few months, people have been talking about how this coronavirus has paralyzed trade in some parts, particularly China and what have you. How do you deal with that, and have you felt the ill effects of that?
Yes, we have, but we believe that is temporary, and very soon we will overcome that, especially it being China. I mean, China is one of the largest economies of the world, and it will. It's just the normal course.
What other challenges do you have, and also what are your expansion plans for this whole zone, not just the tea and the coffee centre you said, but I mean, what are your plans for expansion?
So we constantly look at new markets. Today, China, India, Africa are our target markets. We look for various commodities to look at what value add can Dubai add in terms of the supply chain and attracting these commodity trade flows to Dubai. And we see a lot of opportunities, as I said, with coffee, for example, in Africa.
And what about this African continental free trade area? A lot of people are talking about at the moment. It could completely change the game for yourself. How are you preparing for that, and what do you think could be the long-term benefits of it?
So we don't look at these as challenges or threats. We actually look at them as opportunities, and we have worked very closely with other international free trade zones before on joint passport initiatives where member companies from both ends can actually benefit and take value from where they are geographically located versus a competition which is not necessarily healthy.
Is that right? Okay. And I mean, is there anything you can do about that? I mean, if it's not particularly healthy.
We are very open to discussions to look at partnership or collaboration opportunities for sure.
And also, how do you think the Dubai Gold and Commodities Exchange is going to increase in power, you think, in the future?
So the Dubai Gold and Commodities Exchange is a commodities derivative exchange. It's one of the largest and most prominent in the region today, focusing mainly on precious stones, metals, currencies, energy. We will be introducing many new products focusing on various other markets in the future, including the African market as well. And we are also in discussions to look at collaboration opportunities with other exchanges to expand the footprint of the DGCX.
And 2020 is going to be a very busy year for Dubai. It's Expo. 2020, the eyes of the world will be exactly on that those buildings out there. And I mean, it's going to be a really busy year for you. What are you going to do for it?
I mean, yeah.
Push the boat out.
Expo is I think, a historic moment for Dubai and the UAE, where we're all extremely excited about it. There is a lot of opportunities that comes with Expo, apart from the tourism boost that we expect to see. There is also an opportunity for businesses to actually evaluate Dubai, look at the potentials of Dubai, to want to set up a business or a hub here. I mean, the theme of Expo is connecting minds, creating the future, and it will bring people from all over the world together to look at collaboration, creativity, innovation. I mean, I'm sure nothing bad will come out of that. So we're really looking forward to that. And from DMCC perspective, we are gearing up as well to make sure that we facilitate the process of anyone who comes here for the Dubai Expo and decides that they want to set up a base in Dubai from a business perspective. We will be ready to cater to them.
And what kind of response have you had to that, especially from the African continent? Have you had much of a response from businesses saying they want to take you up on it?
Absolutely, yes, they're very open. And today we also have a very large African community with us in DMCC. We have about 1,000 African member companies and over 6,000 African nationals who work within the DMCC, so they are very familiar. However, obviously there's a lot more opportunity that we can grasp.
And give some idea of the numbers. I know they're out there in the public domain, but just for anybody watching who may not, and I mean, how many visitors are we talking, how many hotel rooms, how much money is likely to come with Expo 2020?
So from I think we're looking at around 25 to 30 million visitors to Dubai in the duration of the Expo. A lot of hotel rooms and keys. I don't have the number for that, but there is, I mean, well, you can see the number of accommodations that are being built to cater to the population that will be in Dubai during that time, as well as infrastructure.
Yes, I know there's a whole areas being built up.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, what kind of investment are we talking there?
I'm sure it's, I don't know the actual figures, but I'm sure it's, this Expo, Dubai Expo, will be the largest event that this region has ever hosted. So it's gonna be something big, very exciting, and I recommend that you don't miss the opportunity to come and visit Dubai Expo.
So this October, don't miss it. And do you think at the end of this year, how are you going to look back and look at Expo 2020, you think, and also your work at the DMCC? How do you want to feel at the end of this year?
We're very excited. We think it's going to be a promising year, despite what's going on in China, for example, at the moment. We believe the Expo will be a milestone. We believe the targets of the non-oil trade for the UAE, we will hit a number of milestones there in terms of opening new avenues for Dubai and new ecosystems and industries for sure.
Thank you very much indeed. That's Feryal Ahmadi, the COO of DMCC here in Dubai, one of the world's fastest growing free trade zones. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for on this edition of Captains of Industry. From me, Chris Bishop in Dubai, it's goodbye.